Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 6 press conference live stream with me, Holly Shand, coming slightly earlier this week because I'm on the wrong screen. We've got a load of early press conferences, lots coming between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So I thought, go early. I'm going to be around for the next 2 hours because we've got lots to cover today because I've got my wildcard to complete. But we've got Manchester United press conference coming up at 12 o'clock, which is right now pretty much. Then at 12:30, we've got Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea and Man City. Did not want to miss those ones. 1 o'clock, it's Bournemouth and Spurs. And then 1:30, we've got Brentford, Palace, Luton and Sheffield United. So it's definitely going to be a busy one. That's why I've gone early. This is why I always say, when you're liking and subscribing, hit the notify button because that'll let you know if there's any changes to the press conference times. If we see these spread across quite regularly, then I will move it forward because we want to pick up as many press conferences as possible. I don't know if it's because it's been a European week that teams maybe are in different places at different times to normal, but that's how things are panning out. Deadline is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. UK time, so just over 24 hours to go. No deadline stream from me this week, though, because I'm on Sky Sports instead. So that's why I'm doing a super long press conference stream. So if you are here and you're enjoying it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. And if you've arrived late, no worries at all. Certainly watch it all back. And, you know, if you're watching after we've gone live, that's absolutely fine as well. So my wildcard team then. If you caught my wildcard team reveal this week, then you'll notice that there's not a lot that has changed here. While I'm going through this, do say hello in the chat. Chat's on screen and I'll jump across and say some hellos soon. So I've still got Flecken in goal. I am a little bit tempted by David Raya. I think he's 4.8 million. But I guess there's that chance that even though he's number one now, maybe a string of poor performances would see him lose his place. Still got that back line of Estepinian, Botman and Cash. It was nice to see Cash benched in the Europa Conference League yesterday. Another player on the bench in the UEFA Europa League last night was Mo Salah. Midfield's the same basically as it was before I wildcarded, other than the fifth midfielder spot, which is currently Diaby, but I'm not quite locked in on him either. Alvarez and Haaland up front, very excited to be on Alvarez for the first time this season. And the bench at the moment is Areola, Burke, Archer and Udogie. That fourth defender spot, which is currently Udogie, that could be a Newcastle defender. I'll show you in a bit what kind of I'm thinking on that spot, but that's where we're at the moment. I am going to jump over to the live chat. I can see there's over 100 of you in already, which is amazing, especially because I've gone early. If you are in, hit that like button. Let's get the stream to 100 likes. Lots of you in already, so thank you for joining. Ben and Nicholas were both here early. We've got Moktiver, Keith, Steve, Anish, who's a member. Thank you for the support, Anish, once again. Chris, Ethan, Dev, Niraj, Eddie, James, Simon, Milan, Tuesday, Matt, Leif and Jack are all in. If anyone wants to help out, if Anish, if you was up to help out with modding, don't think we've got any of the normal mods in yet, do let me know in the chat. James has said no Arsenal press conference. It's already been the Arsenal press conference. That's what I'm going to do next, is just have a look at everything that has been covered already in the press conferences. So the big one is the Arsenal press conference. That was already this morning. I can't remember what time it was now. I think it was about 9:30. We heard from Arsenal, Newcastle and West Ham already this morning. Yesterday, there was Fulham, Forest, Everton and Burnley press conferences. Nothing from Liverpool and Villa, who were both on European away days. We may get some embargoed quotes from their press conferences. I'm not sure whether that'll be today, tonight, tomorrow. Probably tonight, I'd say. Maybe about 10:30 tonight, we might get some quotes there. But Gabriel Martinelli is still being assessed and hasn't been ruled out for the North London derby on Sunday. El Neni has returned to the matchday squad. Partey is still out. Oh, Akshat is in and modding. That's brilliant. Thank you, Akshat, for hopping along. At Newcastle, Eddie Howe has said this morning that he will need to rotate the squad. I don't think this is best news for Trippier owners. We don't want to make wholesale changes to the team in any one game. It won't do our rhythm any good, but tweaks along the way. Now, there is squad depth there. You've got Gordon and Barnes on one side. You've got Isaac or Wilson through the middle. Few changes that can be made elsewhere. Anderson and Almiron on the right as well. I think it'll be the attack and the fullbacks. I think the centre-back's fine. News from West Ham. Jared Bowen has had a virus, so we'll need to see how he is. West Ham play on Sunday, so you'd expect he'd be back in, but you never know. Creswell felt his hamstring last night, so we'll see how he is, but otherwise we're okay. They were the press conferences from today. Before we get on to the others, I'm just going to pop across to the tweet deck to see whether we've had anything through from the... I'm going to have to give this a refresh, I think, from the United press conference, which was supposedly at 12 p.m. We've got injury updates from Chelsea. Badiashile back part of full team training, as is Broja. Don't know how Jackson owners feel about that. Reece James still out by the looks of things. So that's quite interesting, that, for any Jackson owners out there. Let me bookmark this so that we can go back to it later as well. I just have to do a bit of admin as I go through to make sure that we're not missing anything, because it's useful to come back and make sure that we've got all the key information. I think we've not had anything through from United yet. It's quite quiet at the moment. We should be coming soon. So press conferences from yesterday. Oh, we've also had comments. Arteta would not say who was number one, for who was going to start the North London derby between Ramsdale or Raya. It will be Raya. There were some quotes from Eddie Howe and Callum Wilson trying to manage his load. I think, it looks at the moment like we could have Isaac playing in the Champions League and Wilson in the Premier League. No Champions League next midweek, but we do have Carabao Cup fixtures between game week 6 and 7. Just to note. So involved in that's Burnley, Luton, Wolves, all of the last season's European clubs all enter at this stage. So you've got United v Palace, Liverpool are back in, West Ham, Chelsea play Brighton, Bournemouth are back in, Brentford v Arsenal, Villa v Everton, Fulham are in, and Newcastle v Manchester City. In terms of the other bits and bobs that we've had through already, Joe Linton should be back before the break. Willock ruled out until later. Some comments from De Zerbi after the Brighton game yesterday. Dunk and Ferguson will play on Sunday. I think Ferguson was in the squad but was ill. Dunk had a little issue but is expected to be fine. Yesterday, Coleman not back yet in training for Everton. Few injuries still kicking round at Fulham. We know that Rico Henry is now out with an ACL, as is Perisic. Wan-Bissaka, that's the one that we want to know on. My light's flickering. On the United press conference today. There was a few other little issues, wasn't there, for Chelsea? Cucurella, Madueke and Caicedo. So it'd be interesting to see what Potter's got to say on those. Let me see if this United press conference has started yet. No. Never mind, that's fine. Right, so while we're waiting for that to come, I'll put my wildcard team back up on screen and I'll hop over to the chat and see what's going on. There were some early questions. Ben had asked, I had a disaster of 23 points Darwin started for Liverpool midweek, still worth keeping him. I think Darwin Núñez is not going to get the starts in the Premier League for the time being. However, that may not be an issue for him because he can come on as a sub. I think if you own him with Liverpool's fixtures, I'd maybe hang on to him for a little bit longer. But if you've not got Alvarez, the switch would be tempting. Nicholas is trying to work out which of Saliba, Chilwell, Estupiñán and Udogie to swap out for Botman. Got to be Chilwell, surely. I'm definitely in the Chilwell sell camp this week. Keith says, do you think Rashford for Salah would be okay or give Rashford another week? I think if you're a Rashford owner, you've got to give him another week. The fixtures are really, really nice for United, to be fair. I know the club's not in a great state right now, but Burnley away, Palace at home, Everton at home, Sheffield United away is really nice. Steve's gone early on his transfers. Jackson to Alvarez, Chilwell to Trippier. I think they're sound moves. Akshat, question from members. By the way, memberships are active on the channel, guys. Let me just see if I can put this in without it breaking everything. We've got 250 of you in, by the way, which is incredible. We're only at 69 likes, though. We can improve on that for sure. So if you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you're doing that now. So what I wanted to mention quickly is about channel memberships. There's quite a few members in today, which is lovely to see you all. But if you are interested in supporting the channel a little bit more, then channel memberships are a great way of doing so. You'll get the emojis. You'll also get the little icons as well on there. And if you're a premium pick, then you'll get access to a special part of my Discord channel where you can talk to me, get some team advice, rate my team service as well. So it's well worth checking out if you haven't done so already, and it definitely helps me help support the channel and helps me. So I really do appreciate everyone that considers becoming a member. You also get priority responses to questions on stream and in videos. So Akshat said, triple City attack, Foden, Haaland and Alvarez. Thoughts? Yeah, I think it's solid. I did consider Foden myself on Wildcard to triple up on the City attack. I'm just not that sold on him right now. I think the trouble is, like, Alvarez and Foden were nice differentials a few weeks ago, but then you look now, they're such popular picks. And most people now have two City players in their side. So I think the triple up is the way to go to be differential. This is what I'm thinking the same on my wild card. It's the double Newcastle defence because while I think Udogie is a good pick, I'm not planning on playing him away at Arsenal or at home to Liverpool. So I could go with, I can't afford Trippier. I could afford Schär. However, I've got this loose plan that if I want Son in game week 9, once those two tricky fixtures are out the way for Spurs, I'd have to take out Son and Estupiñán. But if I go with Schär over Udogie, I only got 3.8 million in the bank, whereas at this I've got 4.1 million in the bank. So it's a tricky one. That's why I don't think I'm going to double up on that defence. Anish is on a wild card as well. Flecken, Trippier, Botman, Estupiñán, and Bomo, Trossard, Neto, Salah, Diaby. Neto? I mean, Trossard is a risk because Martinelli hasn't even been ruled out. So I don't think I would go with Trossard. I mean, let me have a look at Neto's fixtures. He's not prolific, a prolific FPL asset by any means. Fixtures are a mixed bag. You got Morris in there as well. you've managed to afford Salah. I'm not that. I know it unlocks the funds, but I'm just not that sold on a few of those picks in there, Anish. Certainly Neto. I'm not sold on him at all. Neto out and Ward-Prowse in game week 7. I'd just get Ward-Prowse now. I wouldn't book in the transfer. I think Ward-Prowse is fixture-proof to me. He scored against City. Liverpool defence is not great. I'd just go Ward-Prowse from now, but I don't think I'd pick Trossard. I don't think he's a safe pick at all. And the other thing is Trippier. I mean, he's a good pick, Trippier, but he's getting old. Is he going to start every single game, Champions League and Premier League? I'm just not sold on that. So there's a few things that I'd maybe look at changing in there. But beyond that, I think you've got a really solid basis in there, Anish. Akshat says, take Jackson out, Chilwell likely to play. Gabby has asked March or Wissa this week. It's got to be March, surely. Let me have a look at the predicted points. Game week 6. March is on. Don't know why it's not liking that. Solly March is on 4.6 predicted points. Wissa is on 5.2. The AI disagrees with me. I feel like March has got a way higher ceiling. That'd be my view. Right, have we got any news from this Manchester United press conference? Because I've had an early lunch to be ready. There doesn't seem to be a lot going on. Nothing yet. Sorry to disappoint, guys, but it gives me a bit longer to answer some of your questions. Oh, discussed Trossard already. Zane says, Isaac for who? I have Alvarez and Erling Haaland. I mean, Edouard has got fantastic numbers. Morris is a good differential for with double game week 7 in mind. Let's have a look at forwards by predicted points over the next 4. Jackson is still up there. Wissa, as we've mentioned. Mine would be Edouard and Wissa, to be fair. Hope that helps, though. All the tools, by the way, on this video, guys, are available on Fantasy Football Hub. And you can get 30% off right now. And that win your mini league or your money back offer ends next week. So basically the rules are if you let them know which mini league you want to win, and provided you go on site and use the members tool every week, you'll then get your money back if you don't win your mini league at the end of the season. So it's kind of risk free. Either you win your mini league or you don't win your mini league, but you don't have to pay for the membership. Because I'm not doing the deadline stream tomorrow because I'm on Sky, my team reveal on our article on the Hub will be where you can see my finalised wildcards team for game week 6. If I make any changes, that's the place it's going to be posted exclusively this week. So if you to-ing and fro-ing as to whether to go for a Hub membership or not, this is the time to sign up to it. Adash has asked if I'm on Wildcard this week. Yeah, my reasoning for Wildcard has maybe raised a few eyebrows. But if you look at my squad before, I had Johnston and Turner, who could both easily lose their places this week. Johnston's conceded 5 goals in 2 games. Dean Henderson's waiting in the wings. Turner, I think Steve Cooper says that Odysseus is going to be the number 1 keeper for Forest. So at some point he's going to come in. Then I've got Henry, who's out for the season. Baldock, who is an injury. Chilwell's lost his place. Cabore's a rotation risk. So I only had Estepinian in the defence. So I had 2 goalkeepers that I didn't want, 4 defenders that I didn't want. I was just too inflexible. I can't remember how much money I had in the bank. I don't think I had a lot to make moves. So now, even though I've kept kind of the basis of the attack, I'm a lot more flexible. I know my route to bring in Son in game week 9 if I want him, if everyone else is still fit and available at that point. I've improved all of my bench because last week my bench was threadbare. I had Cabore come off the bench, but there was nothing else to come off if I had any more injuries. So I was just the basis of the team was really solid, but there was just too many weaknesses that I just felt like I was going to bleed points in the next few weeks. I didn't need to wait till game week 9 to get Salah into my team because I've already got him and I'm very happy to have him. But I guess at the start of the season, you can be a bit more out there with your picks. So I knew going into the season that I didn't have much of a bench, but it didn't bother me because I knew I had the wild card to get me out of jail. And that's what I needed this week. But now it's got to be a bit more sensible because I've got to bear in mind that this team, I've only got 3 transfers to survive on for at least probably the next 20 game weeks. So, you know, when you do play the wild card, you need to be a bit more conservative in your approach than you can maybe go in game week 1. Anish said, should I go Share instead of Trippier? Yeah, I think that'll just release a few more funds so that you can maybe upgrade that Trossard position. Because if I'm right, you didn't have Saka in your team, did you? I mean, it could be Son as well. I've seen quite a few people on Wildcard this week saying, oh, I'm not going to own Saka because I don't like the next few fixtures. To me, it's fixture proof. I don't think it matters what the fixtures are. Right, let's jump across to Twitter. X. We've not had anything from this Manchester United press conference yet, which is a bit annoying because I started the stream early in preparation for it, and then it hasn't happened. Anyway, we won't moan. It should mean that I get lots of your questions answered today, which is the main thing. I'm just going to scroll up in the chat to make sure that I've not missed anything important yet. Matt said, I was going to go for wildcard, but my team's rated 95%. Yeah, my team was rated at 92%. And the wildcard has got it up to 96%. So you can get your AI transfers if you're a hub member. You can plug your team in and it'll tell you what the best moves are for this week. It even gives you feedback on your wild card as well. So the link for this is in the chat or in the description to the video. But yeah, in terms of these transfers, I think it's quite interesting in terms of the suggestions it's giving me. So it wants me to go Saka to Son. It also wants me to sell Maddison for Fernandes. Which is interesting. I think the North London derby, comparing that to fixtures from other teams, makes it quite polarising in terms of the potential moves. But for me, it's form over fixtures in FPL. And that's why I'm sticking with Saka and Maddison. Killer Rat is in the chat. Nice to see you. Says, happy Friday. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you found me okay. You realised I've gone early. Lots of managers frustrated after a poor game week 5, but we were all in it together. Niraj says, how do you manage to plan for the game week 8 and 9 fixture swings? Well, I've got Salah already. I've got Villa assets in already. I've got Salah already. I don't think I need to do anything. I've got a route to Son. Right. Killer Rats just said, did I tell it I was wildcarding? I don't actually think I did. You can put this in now, chips. So you can put that I'm on a wildcard this week. And then it might give me some different transfers. You can also, if I load this up in another tab, you can get the AI teams for the week. All right, so now it's giving me a lot of moves. I should have probably put that in before. I am an ambassador for Hub, and I've got mods telling me how best to use the tools. Killer said saw it pop up on Discord. Oh, great. So AI preferring Vardy to Estepinian, Bell over Cash, Bayer over Udoji, Saka to Son, Diaby to Rashford. I think you can see on this tab the AI best wildcard team. You get a free hit team as well, but it basically gives you the best team every week. So AI really liking the double up on the Newcastle defence, keeping Fernandes and Rashford, having Son and Eze. Some interesting picks in here, actually. But you can get this every week as well, using, as a Hub member, using the link. And remember what I said, that it's a 7-day free trial, so you're not losing anything by giving it a go. Even if you just use it for this week, even just to get my final team reveal. But you can get those suggested AI transfers as well, as I've mentioned. Let's check that we've not had any news from the press conferences. Killer says a 98% rating. That's decent, well done. I seem to miss this on the Chelsea thing. Caicedo, no Moise Caicedo on the list, which suggests he has recovered from a minor knee injury. I don't think this press conference is coming for United at 12. But at 12:30, we've got Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea and Man City. So that's going to keep us busy. Killer says, I love the Hub. I'm not an ambassador. I just like it. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite lucky to be an ambassador because, as you can see, so is Micah Richards. Or Micah. I always say his name wrong, apparently. Yeah, so we're going to be a few busy ones at 12:30, so I'm going to have an eye on those. Adash says, Ten Hag facing a lot of criticism of players. Maybe he didn't want to come out for his press conference because of that. We'll see. I'm going to keep the tweet deck open now because I'll put my team on just for a bit longer because I guess we've still got 6 minutes. I'm going to keep going through some questions. Matt says not wildcarding because team rating 95%. Yeah, that's sensible. Mine was 92%. Paul has said Baldock out, Botman in. Nice move. We've got a Mika in the chat. He says, big up, Polly. Mika Webb. Robert is concerned that Darwin Núñez took the penalty in the Europa League last night. And if Salah isn't on penalties, how does that impact him? If I'm honest, I think Salah is still on pens. He wasn't on the pitch when Núñez converted in the Europa League. Akshat says there's a lot of love for Luton defenders, but as many managers, I'm also confused with Burke and Anderson. Yeah, for me, I'd love... Let's have a look at what the AI says. I'd love to have Kabore, but he was benched in game week 4. So he's only on 61 predicted minutes. AI prefers Burke over Bell. And if you have a look at... How many? I've not got the right tabs open now, have I? What do I want? Opta-stats. So if we look at Opta-stats for Luton defenders, you'll see that Kabore is the most attacking, but I think sometimes the manager needs a slightly more defensive team for some games. So Kabore doesn't get the minutes. But in terms of shots, it's Burke and Kabore top on 3, Anderson on 2. For XG, it's Bell, Anderson, Burke. Key passes, though, Kabore, Giles, Burke. Expected goal involvements, Kabore first, Burke second, Bell third, Anderson fourth. So that's why I've gone Burke. To be fair, I wasn't that sure, so I've backed the AI on it. Anish has said, since Moreno is kind of back, will this impact the game time for Cash, or would Dean be a good option? I think Moreno's more likely to share minutes with Lucas Dean, if I'm honest. Let's get some predicted lineups from Ben. These are always useful. Yeah, Cash and Dean this week. Keith has said, thinking Rashford for Salah and chill out for Botman. I don't think this is the week to drop Rashford for Salah. Did anyone see the game? I saw the highlights of the United game. Rashford was like ridiculous. Like the amount of shots he had. He had 9 shots, 2 on target, 6 in the box. No big chances, interestingly. He needs to find Højlund, but that link up is going to come soon. Yeah, as Akshat's put in the chat, I am going to try and get through as many questions as possible on this, so please be patient with me. Let's keep the tweet deck open now to see what's coming through. Nothing yet, but as I said, we've got 4 press conferences at 12:30. Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Man City. So they will be coming. Miss B says, shall I use my wild card now? I'd say if there's 4 or 5 players that you really want to change, then I don't... In your 11, then yeah, I think that's justified. Got to play at some point. Ishan says he thinks... Ramsdale might get a start. I think that's why we can't really go there, isn't it? Adarsh says, if I don't wildcard this week to bring Salah in, is Darwin a good representation? No. I don't think Darwin will start. AI's currently got... just refreshing. Let's have a look at the predicted lineups from Ben first. Sorry if this isn't scrolling is annoying. Ben's predicting a front 3 of Jota, Gakpo and Salah. And if we look at the points predictions, let's just give this a refresh. There we go. Darwin Núñez. Why is this doing this? Yeah, I think in terms of questions on United players, I think Salah, I think Rashford is the better option this week. That's not liking me, is it, for some reason? Hanish said, will Pep bench Alvarez and shatter my wild card this week? I hope not. He wouldn't do that to us, would he? So, AI's got Darwin on a potential 45 minutes and 3.3 predicted points. And if you look at Liverpool players in the next 4 game weeks, Salah on 26.9 predicted points. Second is Robertson, 16.1 points. That's 10 points less. Yeah, so there's a bit of scepticism in the chat about Alvarez starting because Pep has a habit of, you know, really complimenting players and then dropping them. But... there's a lot of injuries at the moment. We've got Bernardo Silva potentially injured. So I think this is the predicted lineup for City at the moment. Alvarez behind Haaland with Foden left and Doku right. Doku. Sudoku. That's how I pronounce it. Probably wrong. City press conference is now. I'm going to keep this open now. Definitely. Paul has asked if I'm still wildcarding. Yes, absolutely. You can't, once the wildcard is activated, it cannot be deactivated. Carlos asks, do I think Kudus will start? Don't know. We'll see what Ben's done on that one. Let's have a little spy. Yeah, I mean, this hasn't been updated with the Bowen injury, so I guess that's going to help him. Discuss the Liverpool front three, so hopefully that's answered your question, Jake. I'm not sure about Bowen. He's had a virus. He doesn't have to start, does he? But I think if you've got him, keep him. I still think he's a good pick. Pep's press conference is happening now, so hopefully we'll have updates very soon. There's 486 of you in, which is phenomenal. Thank you for the support. Make sure if you are in that you've liked and subscribed to the channel. We should be hitting close to 500 likes on the stream, so if you're watching, make sure you've hit the button. Honestly, it really does help in terms of supporting the channel. It might not seem significant, but it is. What does everyone think to the new thumbnail, by the way, as well? Do you like it? I put a cheeky pep on there this week. Gary has said Diaz and Foden. What do I think? Diaz isn't an option. Foden is. Nikoslight says, is Wissa and Mbomo combination okay? Yep, absolutely fine. Great fixture. Paul has asked if I'm considering Morris ahead of Archer for the double game week. The problem is, I don't want Morris long term. I want a 4.5 million option on my bench. It allows me to afford Salah, Saka, another expensive midfielder in there as well. So this is what I mean about why you need to be a bit more conservative over Archer. That's why I've gone with Archer over Morris. I do like Morris for the double game week, but if I don't want him long term, I don't want to be booking in the transfers. Amri says Sterling or Foden for Rashford. I just told Rashford. Alric says Højlund hat-trick tomorrow. I've triple captained him. Wow, that is a bold move. Let's put a captain poll up. I did see the scout was tweeting earlier about whether you should triple captain Haaland this week. Personally, I don't think it's as strong a week for triple captain as the Fulham game. But we'll put the poll up, see if there is any interest in triple captain for Haaland. I certainly wouldn't be going triple captain on Højlund. You've got the wrong Viking there. City team news should be dropping any time. Ishan is concerned that I've got no City or United. I don't think that's a problem. I think it's absolutely fine. Both clubs are not in great places at the moment. We seem to have just lost a ton of viewers. Did I do something wrong? Are we all still here and can hear anything? I tell you what, why is it every Friday there's some sort of machinery right out of the window? Sounds like some sort of lorry reversing. Can you hear that? I mean, I know last week you said that you couldn't hear it, but it was distracting me. Adarsh asked how my game week 5 was. We're trying to forget about game week 5. I was below average, 39 points. 44 was the average. Anish says, I'm happy I don't have the option of triple captain this week. One less thing to worry about without wildcard. Right, Bernardo Silva has been ruled out for 1 or 2 weeks, says Pep. That's good for Alvarez, Doku, even Grealish if he's back. Not a long issue. Sounds like Grealish might get some minutes tomorrow. I might pin this one because it's quite significant. Jack Grealish could play some minutes while Mateo Kovacic is coming back, says Pep. What does that mean? Does that mean he's fit? Kovacic is fit, possibly? Clear as mud, Pep. Clear as mud. Oh, dear. Typical. We're nearly up to 200 likes, guys. Right. John Stones is still out for City. I don't know what this Kovacic starting to come back means. Does that mean he's back in training, but not fit? We play lots of games, not much rush. Rodri is an exceptional holding midfielder. All the Rodri owners need Kovacic back. Apparently my mic's good at noise cancellation. We'll take it. Dev says Botman for Chilwell or Alvarez for Jackson. Depends on who you've got as backup if Chilwell doesn't get minutes. Alvarez to Jackson now just seems like such an easy move. Cooper said Chilwell to Botman or Foden to Mbomo. Chilwell to Botman. Yeah, so it sounds like Kovacic maybe isn't going to be available. Well, I'll do the I'll pin the better one. Quite informative from Pep, to be fair to him. I'll bookmark that one because that's probably the one that's most useful. It's hard because sometimes on these you just get like little parts of quotes rather than the full thing. Yeah, it's really hard to go without Mbomo this week, but I wouldn't drop Foden to get him in. Steve is going Alvarez captain over Haaland. That is bold to me. Yeah, one other thing from Game Week 5. I know Haaland only got a goal, but he had 9 shots in the box, 6 on target, all of which were big chances. He had an XG of 2.69, only scored 1. He was so unlucky not to come away with a hat-trick or more from that game. I think that's it from Pep's press conference. But we've still got another 10 press conferences coming, so I'm going to be about till about 2 o'clock. I'm also going to be locking in my wildcard as well, and I'm still doing my best to get through all of your questions. Obviously, all the members' questions are getting prioritised at the moment. If you are interested in a channel membership, click the join button. They start at $2.99, really good value. Gets you all the cool emojis and also priority responses to questions. Cayman says play Rodri or Wissa. I would play Wissa. 84% on the poll currently are going with captain Haaland. 10% saying triple captain Haaland. It's more than I thought. 6% going other. Will is in from Kenya. Start one of Sterling or Wissa. I would go with Wissa, I think. Got to go with the fixtures. Let's get the stream to 200 likes then, guys. If you haven't hit that like button yet. Help feed the algorithm. Helps me get the stream out to more people. Oh, Killer Rat, what a legend. Has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Killer Rat. So do say thank you if you got one. The lucky ones were Lynn, Nelson, Retip, Kidos, and Raj. So if you're in and you've just been gifted a membership, then do say thank you. Thanks for the support, Killer, as always. You're making a habit of this. I'll never take it for granted, though. Pochettino is running late for the Chelsea press conference, which was meant to be starting at 12:30. Was also meant to be hearing from De Zerbi now and Reiner for Bournemouth. So it's a bit quiet. However, it does give us a little bit of time to go through some more questions. I'm going to end the poll because I think it's pretty clear how that one's going. I feel like I've lost my place in the chat now. I haven't, don't worry. Marmite, long-term options, Saka and Wissa or Diaby and Jesus? Saka and Wissa. No, I'm not an Arsenal fan, Ashab. Have I given that impression? You should be able to see on the FPL homepage my club allegiances for what it's worth at the moment. I'll leave my wildcard team on screen and I'll just do a few more questions and we'll pop back over to the tweet deck. No Champions League next week. It is Carabao Cup games. Yogesh, I'd probably lose one of your United midfielders, probably Bruno from Bomo. If you've got 2 free transfers, I think that's fine. Anish says, Arsenal still assessing Martinelli. Does that mean he may not start? We've got to remember it's the North London derby. Arteta's not going to come out in his press conference and say Martinelli's out of the game. That'd make things too easy. Personally, I don't think he'll be involved. If he is involved, likely from the bench. But I don't think he'll be involved at all. But whether you sell him or not off that, I don't know. If you've got cover from the bench, maybe you can wait a bit longer. All quiet on X Pro at the moment. Mav, your questions, I wouldn't take the hit. MB with a question. I am so worried on Salah's form. I can get him with a -8. Taking Bernardo, Henry, Watkins, KT, who is that Trippier, and in Salah, Luton defender, Morris and Botman. I don't think it's worth a -8. Oh, Simon is in and modding. Happy Friday all. Nice to see you join us. Tracken, big risk decision this week. I removed Saka and Foden in favour of Rashford and Mbomo. You think I'll regret it? It feels like a sideways move, but, you know, let's see. So the only press conference news we've had during the stream is from Pep. Some weird comments from Pep actually on Alvarez. Oh, this is promising. Right now with the injuries, this is on Alvarez. Right now with the injuries, he's had minutes and he gives us a lot of good things. That's why he's playing, but he has to continue. Many games, some games he won't play. Hopefully players come back and fight for positions. He's fine for now, isn't he? Interesting to have some quotes on that though. Sorry, I've missed a few members' questions, so I'm just going to go back to those. Killer Rat says, am I mad for picking Leno on my wild card? No, great numbers. He's going to get saves because I can't see so many chances. And K-Man says Kabore or Romero. Kabore is a rotation risk, but I would go Burke over Romero. Simon, has anyone taken us -24 this week? No, my wild card is active though. Gross is out for Brighton. Ferguson has a chance. I don't know which was which of these quotes from De Zerbi is the best one to quote. I don't think there's a lot of Pascal Gross owners. Let's bookmark that one. That encompasses most things. Ferguson has a chance then. Milner, I guess, is not a big issue because we don't have a lot of owners of Milner. Nelson says, after last week, going to need some differentials. Neto v Luton looks good. I don't like the short-termness of the move, though. Anish says, I don't own any Spurs midfielders, but plan to get Son or Maddison from game week 8. Yeah, I think that's fine. I guess the difficulty is which one you go with, but it depends if we've got Son staying central. Quite a bit of love for Neto. Where's all the Neto love coming from? Has there been a content creator pushing him? We've hit 200 likes, which is fantastic. Thank you, guys. There's over 500 of you watching as well. Keep the questions coming, and I'm going to try and get through as many as I can. We've now had updates from Brighton and City, but none else. So we've still got another 9 to come in the next hour and 12 minutes. So it's going to be pretty busy. Killerat says, I've got Haaland, Alvarez and Edouard up front. Edouard in if Alvarez is benched. I think he'll be fine. Maybe I've overlooked Neto. I'm not prepared to get someone on Wildcard, though, to only have for a week. People that are telling me don't use the wildcard, it's too late. It's already active. You can't deactivate it. Mucky says thoughts on Matoma going forward. I think if you want to stay invested in Brighton's attack, then Matoma's the one to go for. I think he'll still do well. Yeah, Chilwell a rotation risk for me now. I'm not interested. Yeah, Anish Gross is out. Oh, no, I don't think he's actually out. Has a muscular problem. Isn't sure of his availability. Simon's gone for triple Newcastle defence this week. It's crazy. Caicedo, Cucurella and Madueke all back in the squad for Chelsea this weekend. But no actual quotes from Pochettino yet. No news on Chilwell. I don't think we're going to get news on Chilwell. If he's out of favour, he's out of favour. Poch isn't here yet, though. We're still waiting for him. He ought to know that there's 550 of you watching on a live stream for updates that he hasn't shared. Yeah, the trouble is with Chilwell now, like he could so easily be benched and come on for 1 point, or start and be subbed at half time or before the 60-minute mark. De Zerbi asked if he will have to make a lot of changes. Yes, a lot. He says it's more difficult for Brighton than Liverpool and West Ham as they are more used to it after competing in Europe last season. Great. This is the only problem. But the thing is with Matoma, he's played 440 of 450 minutes this season. Brighton went all out with a strong squad last night and didn't even get the result. MB's on 297 points. Is that what I'm on? No, I'm on 302. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to get from Brighton, Anish. Tariq Lamptey, as an enabler at 3.9 million, is worth a risk, I'd say. But I wouldn't use a free transfer on him. Abdullah's on 336 points. Congratulations. You don't need me. Thanks for coming and watching now. Yeah, I think if you've got Brighton assets, it's going to be pretty brutal this season. De Zerbi's worse than Pep. Chilwell is a sell for me. Unless Poch says he's going to start. Yerges says, I think I've answered that one. If we can just ask a question once, then it will make it a lot easier for me to get through them all. We should get some team leaks tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not streaming, but there will be other deadline streams around. We could get team news for any of the first 3 games. So Palace, Fulham, Luton, Wolves or City, Forest. But Alvarez should start. My hunch is that Chilwell could start this week. But I still don't want him in FPL anymore. Triple Newcastle defence personally feels a bit much. Gabby says I'm on 331 points thanks to this channel. Make sure you've joined in the mini league as well. I think the link is in the description. QUEYCT. Should keep popping up on your screens as well. Gekwas is keeping the faith with Sterling. I think that's fine. The chat is getting busy. There must be a lot of you in. It's quiet on the tweet deck right now. Sorry, I was just keeping an eye on the weather. Because in real life, I've got washing out that I don't want to get wet if it rains. Sorry, I've just got a bit distracted there. Simon, I go quadruple Newcastle defence if I can manage it. Oh dear. So we've heard from Brighton and Man City at the moment. We've still not heard from Man United. I bet that comes at 1 o'clock and I'll be annoyed that I started at 12. But there's lots of you here, so it's been worth it. Got lots of questions done already. Still waiting to hear from Bournemouth. Have I got Bournemouth on there twice? No one's corrected me on this yet. I don't know why they're on twice. What have I done wrong? Who knows? Oh, well, it's too late to correct it now. You just have to manage. But yeah, a couple of press conferences coming at 1 o'clock and 1:30. I don't have messed something up there. Oh, it's Wolves at 1. Along with Spurs, not Bournemouth. Do I need to change it? We can get over it, can't we? Just want to update you then while we're waiting for other news to come through, where we're up to at the moment with the press conferences. We're an hour into the stream, so it seems like a good time. And while I'm going through this, make sure that you're showing your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. So lots of changes expected for Brighton. Gross is a doubt. Ferguson has a chance. Alvarez is much needed by City at the moment. Grealish is back. Kovacic isn't though. Bernardo out for a few weeks. John Stone's not ready to be back yet. Badiashile and Brozier ready for Chelsea, but we're still waiting for the full press conference. Martinelli has not been ruled out yet for Arsenal. Changes expected at Newcastle. Bowen has a virus and is a doubt. We don't know who's number 1 at Arsenal, but I should imagine it it will be Raya that starts in the North London derby. Wilson's going to have his minutes managed. Joe Linton isn't back yet. That's all we've had today so far. That's your roundup heading into 1 o'clock. Pochettino finally arrived. A 12:30 p.m. conference. He's arrived at 12:57, 27 minutes late. Adash has just made me laugh in the chat. Holly, you're a sweet person in real life. Never shy away from expressing your household routine. Very down to earth. Yeah, I don't think I'm a big enough YouTuber that can get someone else to have my washing out and bring it in when it's raining. So, you know, I'm trusting my husband to bring it in if it starts raining, but he's working from home, so we'll see. It's starting to look very grey out of the window. Wasn't expected to rain until 2 o'clock, so I thought it'd be fine. But you just never know. The washing starts to get done. Especially while the sun's shining. Anyway, less about my washing, more about my wildcard team. If anyone thinks that I've got some changes that I really need to make on wildcard, do let me know. The goalkeeper, the fourth defender, and the fifth midfielder are the slots that I'm most likely to deviate on at this point. I still need to keep an eye on the chat though as well. De Zerbi not decided on which goalkeeper to use for the next game. Helpful if you're still a owner or not. Oh dear. DSM says Bruno or Foden or Maddison. Maddison for me. Mini League code is in the description to the video. X-Rain. To hub have X-Rain stats. My husband reluctantly plays fantasy, but he's not a big football fan at all. He's driving me to London now for Sky tomorrow, so I won't say anything mean. Anish said if we had an option to have 6 midfielders, who else would you bring in? Don't know, because I'm kind of struggling with the 5th midfielder spot at the moment. Caicedo's back in training, but still needs to be assessed. Call will be made tomorrow. It looks like Reece James is very close as well. Badiashile has had a little setback in training. Chukwuemeka and James are very close to being with the team to start to train. So that's like they're coming soon on that one. Looks like we are going to hear from Klopp today, which I don't think we were expecting. Were we expecting Liverpool? No. Other than if I've written the team down wrong. I think it was just a bit touch and go of when they'd be back. Trossard predicted to start for Arsenal this week, FYI. But long term, I think if Martinelli, obviously his issue can't be serious, you'd expect he comes back in. I think Bruno Fernandes will play deep, which is why I'm a lot hotter on Rashford this week. I wouldn't triple up on United, though. Yeah, I am on Wildcard. What do I think of a 2-week punt on Doku? I don't like having short-term moves on the Wildcard. Like Diaby, I could decide to hold on to. If Son's looking better than Maddison and I don't want them both, I can just make the switch. I've got the funds, I hope. Maybe I ought to check that. I think I have. At the moment. Just. This is what I've talked, though, about having that flexibility. One thing that I am pretty pleased with so far this season is my team value, 101.5. Killer Rat says, should I take Trossard over DRB on Wildcard? No. Adosh says, who to sacrifice, Saka or Bruno to get Salah in? Bruno. Nothing from Chilwell. Nothing from Poch on Chilwell. Not that I was really expecting there to be, particularly. It sounds like Brozier could return to the squad. A bit of a worry that maybe Stupinan could miss out. I think he's had his rest now. I think we're okay on that one. I hope so anyway. John says, I sense a Salah injury coming. He's never injured. Varron said Wissa or Edouard. Edouard. Best choice for a Jackson replacement is Alvarez. All day long. Akshat says, I have 2 Newcastle defenders, Cher and Botman. Can't fit Trippier because I have Salah. That's absolutely fine. Talk from Poch on Conor Gallagher captain. Don't think that's good news for Chilwell. Not loving the City triple up on attack. Maybe I should have given it a little bit more thought. Long-time member Neil is in the chat. Remember, you get your prioritised responses to comments. Missed the early start time. Bit late. Can I get your thoughts on this? Chilwell to a Newcastle defender. Jackson to Alvarez, or keep both and roll. I think if you've got 2 free transfers, I would make both moves. If not, I think I'd just do Jackson to Alvarez. You can always bring in a Newcastle defender next week. Anish, the Newcastle press conference was earlier. Joe Linton's close. Wilson will have his minutes managed. They were the best of the quotes. Jack says Eric's locked in the toilet. Wouldn't surprise me. John has asked how many wildcards you get. You get 2 a season, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. The second wildcard tends to be played around the blank and double game week time to really optimise the chips. Let me just ask on a poll, just to get an idea of how many of you are on a wildcard. Are you on a wildcard this week? Yes or no? Be interesting to see. I should imagine lots of people, we might have quite a few new viewers this week, people wanting help on wildcard team. So if you are here and you're new, I'm here same time every week, definitely 1 till 2, sometimes earlier as well if there's a lot of press conferences. But thank you for joining. Hopefully you're finding it useful. Anad has said oh, I've lost my place in the chat. What's going on? I don't know where I was. I think I'm a long way off. I think basically I got too far behind on the questions that the chat's just jumped. So I'm going to go back up to basically where I can see it from. Ahmed says start Saliba or Romero. If Raya's in goal, let's go Saliba. Pep did hint about Alvarez starting, yes. Toby says Diaby to Mbomo. Seems a bit sideways. Calum is going to triple captain Haaland against Luton. Yeah, got to be done. Over a quarter of you are on Wildcard. That's interesting. Lookwam says Højlund or Maddison. I'd go Maddison. Sarah, new subscriber, says thank you for doing what you do. Oh, thank you. Ferguson has a chance, but he's definitely not nailed. Nothing from Poch on Chilwell, unfortunately, which won't help us. Dean instead of Cash? I think Cash is more nailed, to be fair. Few Leno owners on Wildcard is interesting. Sterling or Maddison? Maddison easy for me. Walker or a Stupinan? Got to be a Stupinan. He's just so attacking. Like, if you look at stats for defenders, this is available to Fantasy Football Hub members. And you can get 30% off now with the Win Your Mini League or Your Money Back. Link is in the chat. If we filter this by defenders, that was game week 5. That's not right. It's not showing what I want it to. Top for key passes is Stupinan. Top for big chances created is Stupinan. Top for expected goal involvements is Stupinan. You cannot bench him. I said this last week and then he wasn't even in the squad. But hey ho. Will Tonali play? Don't know actually. Let's see what Ben put in his predicted lineups. Can't see anything to say that he won't. But then he's not in the predicted lineup, so I'd say it's not nailed on that he will. Yeah, there's lots on Chilwell. Hold him if you're not on Wildcard. I've got to agree with that. Saliba and Jackson to Sharon Alvarez. That's for free. I think that's fine. I think I've explained already why I've not got Morris on Wildcard. I'd go Foden over Doku for the next 2 weeks. Philippe says best midfielder up to 10.4 million. My favourite midfielders right now are Saka and Mbomo and Maddison. Tusted, I would bench. This is not a nice one. You've not given me the third attacker. Next international break is between game week 8 and 9. Abdullah, is Foden safe to start or should I start Pedro? Start Foden. He's got to start. Silva's injured. De Bruyne's injured. Calum is on a free hit. Thoughts on tripling up on Luton? Yeah, not that sure on that one, if I'm honest. The optimal... Yeah, no questions asked about Chilwell in the Chelsea press conference. The optimal free hit team, according to AI, hasn't got any Luton players in it. It's Flecken, Estupiñán, Vardiol, Ruben Diaz, Salah, Saka, Fernandes and Bomo, Matoma, Haaland and Wissa. Hopefully you find that useful. That's available every week to hub owners using the link in the description or the chat. That's my affiliate link. You'll get a 7-day free trial. So if you are on Wildcard this week and you're wanting some help with your tinkering, you can sign up. And then if you're not enjoying it, then you don't have to proceed. And you'll also get, it's the only place actually that you'll get my final Wildcard team tomorrow, because I'm not streaming tomorrow because I'm on Sky. So if you do want access to that, you need to be a hub member. But again, 7-day free trial, so it's a win-win situation. And win your mini league or your money back is still alive for another week. Akshat is going, thank you very much for modding as always. Stay with us, everyone else, because we've still got quite a few press conferences. Wrong page. We're still waiting to hear from Wolves. Oh, we heard from Postecoglou. I don't think we have we? I thought I saw something pop up, but yeah, we're still waiting to hear from Manchester United, which is very late. Bournemouth, I've not seen anything from yet. Wolves, Spurs, and then in another 20 minutes, we've got Brentford, Palace, Luton, and Sheffield United. So lots still to go. Yeah, Nunes would be the one then in that case, Tuesday. Yeah, we may get some embargoed quotes later. Read Chilwell. All a bit quiet though, so I'm going to put my team back on screen and go for some more questions. I'm worried that I may have missed some member questions. Oh, no, I haven't. We're okay. Micah says, Holly, channel is fantastic. Oh, thank you. If you are enjoying it, the biggest way you can support the channel is just by hitting like and subscribe. We should be close to 300 likes now, which is great. We hit 26,000 subscribers last week, which is just crazy. This week, actually, I think it was on like Wednesday. No, thank you everyone that has subscribed. Really does help me to get the content out to as many people as possible to grow the channel. Double Newcastle defence is fine. I would bench Watkins and play DRB Ricefields. Concerns about Newcastle players because House said he'll rotate his squad. I don't think the centre-backs will be going anywhere unless they're injured. Foden is a nice pick. Best replacement for Henry long-term is Botman. Simon's dropping off as well. Thank you for popping in. Is Killer Rat still in? Have we still got a mod in? If not, I'll allocate from the chat. Gary has asked, why do some press conference sections get embargoed? I've no idea. I don't know. I've no idea. It's just to annoy FPL managers. There'll be some silly reason, but yeah. Would I play Chilwell or Colwell? Yeah, knowing which one starts is not easy. All quiet on the tweet deck right now. Trusk saying, shall I start Morris this week? Who would be on your bench in that case? Because that's the thing that's going to make your decision. If Killerat can still let me know that it's around modding, and if Akshat's still in, hopefully we've still got a mod. Mod, show yourself in the chat. Martinelli replacements, I think I'd hold him. The move for Eze is appealing though this week. I wouldn't take a hit to replace Martinelli or to buy a defender. I thought we was going to get a press conference from Liverpool. I think because they've travelled back. Oh, we have got some mods. Vijay and Killerat are in. Brilliant. I think because they've travelled back last night, it looks like... I can't understand what's going on. These could be embargoed quotes. I've no idea. Let's see if there's a live updates thing. This is just not loading for me now. I don't think there is a Liverpool press conference. I think just the Liverpool journalists are starting to make something look like a press conference for clicks. No worries, Killerat. Samar did Fernandes and Trent to Salah and Botman. Fine moves. Yeah, because there's no scheduled press conference today for Liverpool or Villa because I've travelled back from Europe today. Reasons for not considering Edouard. Probably because Palace aren't that exciting. I think anyone from Brighton's a starting risk, including Matoma, but he's the best pick. Yeah, my wildcard team is back on screen now for anyone that was tuning in to see it. It's no changes as of now. It's quite weird. I think I made a wildcard draft on Sunday. And yeah, I've experimented with a few things, but since I think I activated on Monday, but since then, I've not changed anything at all. Which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't feel like I've, planned it out to the nth degree, but I'm pretty happy with it. There's flexibility in there. I'd go Matoma over March, Anish. No Chelsea, no United, but I think given the state of things at those two clubs in at the moment, I don't think it's an issue. Killerat says all in on Edouard. You go for it, mate. I wouldn't go Darwin over Szoboszlai. From Liverpool right now, attackers, it's Salah or bust. João Pedro's a funny one. I think he's going to get minutes because there's not that many options. His penalties are superb, but I don't think De Zerbi is a big fan, if I'm honest. Nothing else on the tweet deck for now. It's over 500 of you watching. We're 5 likes away from 300, which is amazing. So keep hitting the like button, guys. Abdullah's got a feeling Newcastle will concede. Yeah, I don't think Sheffield United away is that easy a fixture. But, it is what it is, isn't it? There's people coming in the chat in capitals. Abay says, would you consider Morris over Archer for the double game week? Yeah, I don't want to have to take the funds out of Morris and go back to Archer in a few weeks. That's why I'm not doing it. I think it's much easier to do if you've got like a Mubama at the moment and you're going to wildcards off the back of it. Thank you, Killerat. It says, have a great day. Good luck this weekend. Good luck on Sky. Thank you for gifting those memberships once again. I'm sure the guys that watch back that got them will be thanking you. Raul over Thiago Silva. I think you're best off with Newcastle defenders. Abdullah says, do you think João Pedro will start this week? Probably. I think he probably will. Here we go from Spurs team news. Perisic out long term. Gil, Lo Celso and Benteke are still out for a while. So no Lo Celso coming back. Put that in the chat. Bookmark it as well. Pochettino, Nicholas Jackson is going to be a great player. I spoke to him as he had 4 yellow cards, only for talking with a referee, and he's a striker. He understood. He needs to be calm and relaxed. Who knows? Have I missed? No. K-Man says Rodri or Matoma. Neither. Oh, if it's just to start one, I'd start Matoma. No rain yet, if anyone wanted a rain update. Why Burke and not Anderson? For me, I like Burke's underlying numbers more. Yeah, I like Martinez as a pick. I've just not got the funds for it myself. Diaby to Eze, says Alex. I could do. I've just seen all the people getting stung by Eze. Diaby's playing out of position, isn't he? Yeah, I think Diaby's better than Matoma. I think you can see from a wildcard squad. Rain check. Yeah, we had the rain check time. Vijay doing a sterling job of being mod as well. Thank you. We're coming close now to the 1:30 press conferences. So we're expecting to hear from Brentford, Palace, Luton and Sheffield United. Again, I've still got my wild card to lock in as well, which will be, any late changes will be on Fantasy Football Hub before the deadline tomorrow. No deadline stream tomorrow as I'm on Sky Sports in the morning. Can't be in 2 places at once, unfortunately. But if you really want to get my final wildcard team, you need to be a Hub member. Link is in the chat or the description to this video, and I'll update if I make any late changes to my wildcard team. It's only available on the Hub this week, but 7-day free trial means that you can get it without fully signing up. But if you do enjoy it after the 7-day free trial, then you can get 30% off your memberships anyway. That is my team as it stands. Nothing said in particular on Lamptey, or I didn't see it anyway. Travis says Pope or Areola. I would go with Pope. Fitful. 2-week punt on Diaby to Doku. I'm not loving it. I think Wilson will start over Isaac this weekend. Soyunch has got to bench one of Maddison or Diaby. I don't think I'd bench either. I think people look at Chelsea away and think that's a tough fixture for Cash and Diaby. I really don't think it was. Swanky said I saw Lamptey was out. He played like 100 minutes last night, didn't he? Can't see anything. Nothing at the moment. Tom says everyone will be looking to bring in Raya, the sooner the better, so why not now? Nelson, would you take a hit for Rashford to Salah? Depends how big the hit is. Gabby wants to know who to choose from the attacking Newcastle side. I don't know if they're good. Because Isaac and Wilson share minutes, as do Gordon and Barnes. And you've got Almiron and Anderson on the other side. I think you just got to go defensive. The defenders are big threats from set pieces anyway. So the reason I'm not going with Raya is, A, I'm not sold on the fact that he's going to be number one for like, long term. And also, I've got this move lined up of Diaby out for Son in game week 9 and bring in a cheap defender. But if I spend an extra 0.3 on Raya, I'm not going to be able to, I'll be priced out of that move. I'm happy to just go Flecken. His numbers are decent anyway. I think we're still good on rain watch. Just about. What would happen on the stream if I just disappeared to bring my washing in and then came back again? Would we lose a lot of views? It's all right. It's not raining. We're safe for now. I don't think Trossard is a safe route into the Arsenal side right now. Martinelli hasn't been ruled out. Wayne says start Ward-Prowse or Maddison. They're very, very similar players. Similar fixtures. Probably Maddison, though. I'd start Foden over João Pedro. Pax says, I'm stuck with Johnston Turner. Do you think I'll be final till my game week 9 wildcard? You can hope. I wouldn't be convinced. That's one of the reasons why I've wildcarded early. Plus, they had a few other issues. Try not to spam the chat, guys. Robert thinks I should do Diaby to Ward-Prowse. I'm not convinced, though. Richard says Ward-Prowse is an assist machine at the moment. Yeah. He's got an attacking return in every game. The only reason he's not talked about in the same page as Salah and Owoni is that he didn't play game week 1 because he wasn't around until game week 2. Ten Hag is in. As you say, Harry Maguire will be seen again after training. Varane will train, we will see. Amrabat will train, we will see. And Mount as well. So we finally, 1 hour and 30 minutes after when I was expecting team news from United, we have some. Clear as mud as well. I doubt they're going to be back in for this week, but news is news. We're now 24 hours to the deadline as well, by the way, guys. United do this. They have a press conference at one time and then release it later At 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm going to be watching football all day, aren't I? Interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's your update from United. How many pop-ups do they need on one website? Sancho will not be in the squad. Malacia, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Ahmad and Anthony are still unavailable. Mark says, do I bench Maddison or Watkins? Probably Watkins. Alex says Eze is better than Diaby. David said, do you think Hickey will be the attacking defender when Henry's out? Yeah, I think so. I think I've picked Hickey now in a few daily fantasy formats. Govinda says Rashford for Son on a -4. No, I wouldn't do that. Gross is out, Adam. I'm not loving Gordon or Matoma. Daniel's looking at a 4-5-1 this week. Botman, Colwell, Udogie and a Stupinan. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's definitely looking grey out there on the X-Rain watch, guys. We don't need to worry, though. We'll be fine. How are we doing, then? We've had quite a few press conferences now, haven't we? Still nothing from Brentford, Palace, Luton or Sheffield United. No planned moves different on my wildcard either. I think I'm pretty set on the team now. We'll see. Thomas is calling me out on saying that Estepinian would not be rested last week. Can't get all the predictions right, can I? Suja says, does Holly read the chat? I'm literally going through all the questions. Or trying to anyway. Probably failing badly, but I am trying. Nothing else on the X Pro at the moment. Yeah, not worried about Maddison. I think Maddison's fixture proof. Ray or Flecken, it depends on what you need funds for. If money's no object, then Raya, but, you know, to get Salah in, that extra money for Flecken, a bit of security. Ross is saying Salah Nana for Flecken or Saliba for Botman. Doing Watkins to Alvarez. I don't know if I'd do Watkins to Alvarez. Onana to Flecken sounds okay. I wouldn't drop Saliba for Botman. Ethan says I wildcarded last week and flopped. Anish, thank you very much. I think most wildcard squads outperforms the previous squads. Ishan wildcarded last week, got 56 points. 22% of you are on a wildcard this week. Ben says, if you hold out on the wildcard for the first half, do you keep it and get 2 in the second half? No, use it or lose it. It is nice to have a few more beginners questions. There's no such thing as a silly question. So if If there's anything you're unsure on, please ask. So first wildcards available up to Saturday the 30th December, which is, I think, is the game week 20 deadline, and then you get the second one for the second half of the season. I imagine there's quite a few in that are playing their first season. Maybe I'll ask as well, put it as a poll. Is this your first season playing FPL? We'll see. We've got a super chat in from Kamal. First one of the afternoon. Thank you. Captain Son last week, but after watching Haaland play against West Ham, even though scoring only once, no way to bet against him till he retires. Yeah, his underlying numbers were insane. Like, if you look at his... let me find it. His XG for this season. His XG for the season is 7.1. 2.56 of that came against West Ham. Literally crazy. Interestingly, 18% of you, looks like on the poll so far, are in your first season playing FPL. So again, remember what I said, there's no such thing as a silly question. I don't know what's going on here. It's gone again. Don't know if this is a troll thing. But this lineup for Brentford, which has no engagement, has got no whisper. So I don't know what's going on there. I think it's been deleted, which won't help. Because when I click on it, it's not actually there. Sorry, that tweet's been deleted. Oh, what's going on here? We'll keep an eye on it. Lactic is 15k in the world. That is amazing. Well done. Yeah, Swanky saying, where can I get team stats? Yeah, you need to be on the hub for that. Basically, everything that I use in the videos, other than the tweet deck, are tools for hub members. And the link is pinned in the chat, though. Oh, it's back. It's back. I don't know if this is the team that this Brentford fan account wants rather than the team that's going to be. Arunda wants a comparison of Eze, Diaby and Ward-Prowse. If we look at predicted points for midfielders then, up to 7 million. This is filtered by Liverpool at the moment, which is not going to help me. So, beyond Mbomo, Eze's second on predicted points for midfielders up to 7 million on 19.8. Diaby third on 19, ahead of Matoma. Those minutes for gross won't have updated. And then Ward-Prowse is a bit further down. I think the fixtures aren't helping Ward-Prowse. Do I go Eze over Diaby? Fulham and Forest are home in 2 of the next 3. I'm getting swung now. Let's compare them. Eze has been pretty convincing and everything, but his FPL points. Oh dear. To be fair, I think I've got to the point where I don't really want to deviate too much from the wildcard team I've been looking at all week. Can I compare Eze and Doku? I'll get rid of DRB then. Eze's plot is solid. Really solid. It's also on all set pieces. Dave says fixtures, fixtures, fixtures. I'm a form girl. Form over fixtures. I actually write an article for Hub every week, which weighs up form and fixtures. Probably a bit further down now. Here it is. So the form charts, Liverpool on top to City, Spurs, Brighton and Villa. The fixture charts, Luton and Burnley, of course, on top. Then Brentford, Liverpool, Everton, City, Palace. Combine it all together. Villa are fourth. Palace are mid-table. This is an article that you can get as a Fantasy Football Hub member every week. Like literally, the Fantasy Football Hub memberships are such good value. You're going to get, if you sign up today using the link that's pinned in the chat or in the description to this video, you're going to get my final locked-in wildcard team. If I make any changes tomorrow, that's the only place you're going to find it. You'll also get access to all my weekly content, like my team reveal, the form and fixture charts that I've just shown you. You'll get the Opta stats. You get the My Team with the AI recommended transfers. You get the points predictions. Basically everything that I show you on this video that I use for my FPL thinking, you get as a Fantasy Football Hub member. If you sign up now, you're going to get your 7-day free trial. So just try it for a week. If you don't like it, then obviously you don't need to continue with it, but you're going to get my final wildcard team at the very least. And then if you do like it, you're going to save 30% off your membership. And until the end of the month, there's the Win Your Mini League or your money back offer. So basically you just have to share the link to the league that you want to win. And providing you go on the Hub website every week, use all their tools, use any sort of member tool each week. If you'll either win your mini league because everything's going to help you to win it, or if you don't win your mini league, then they'll give you a full refund. Like, there's so much going for it. But this win your mini league offer ends at the end of the month, so you've only got one more game week to take advantage. So that's why you might as well sign up now. Let's pop over to the X Pro, see if there's anything else coming through. Ayew and Mark Gay have returned to Palace training. So that's good news. I'll pop that in the chat as well. Sorry, I should have made that clearer in the chat that that was Palace news. But hey ho. So we're starting to get a bit more through from the press conferences. That was one of the 1:30 ones, wasn't it? Well, 1 hour and 50 minutes into the stream. This could be one of my longest streams ever. Still no rain. I don't think the stream will be... there's not too many more press conferences to cover. We're getting there with them finally. I don't know who else we're going to get through now. I thought it was rain. It wasn't rain. It was just my computer chugging away. Brentford was supposedly 1:30. Seen nothing. Luton, Sheffield, seen nothing. Let me know in the chat if there's any other team news that you're desperately waiting for. I'm guessing not. I think we've covered most things, haven't we? This is quite a nice tweet that I've just seen. This is from Alex 4licks_MCFC on X. Here's the starting predictions against Forest. I love that he's not gone 100% on anyone. At 95%, we've got Edison, Haaland, Rodri, Alvarez, Foden. And then at 85%, Walker, Nunes and Diaz. 80% Akanji, Doku 70%. So a little bit of a warning if anyone was looking to go with him. Grealish, 15%. So unlikely. Yeah, no press conference from Liverpool. I don't know if we're going to get anything from Brentford, unfortunately. Aït-Nour is fine for Wolves. I don't think Martinelli will play as much as you may want him to. Those of you that are in the UK, 10:30 tomorrow, Sky Sports News, I'm going to be previewing Game Week 6 and, you know, talking through my team and things like that. So that should be a fun one to tune into as well. If you've got access, don't worry if you haven't. But yeah, looking forward to that one as well. Right. I don't think we're getting anything else. So I think I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much for watching. Like, to see 500 of you in pretty consistently through the stream means so much to me. Quite a few new subscribers as well. So if this was your first one, thanks for showing your support and I hope you enjoyed it. Big week for me on Wildcard. So good luck to everyone, but particularly those on a Wildcard. I hope it goes really well for you. Remember, the link for Fantasy Football Hub to get my final Wildcard team is pinned in the chat. It's in the description to this video. Last chance to get that 7-day free trial. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you again next week.